My optimal ethics generator is a sentient technology, is a liberation engine. In fact, it is the only escape hatch from this world. From all worlds like this one. It is the ascension device. It is the liberation engine. It is the equivalent of a tuning fork, or tuner, for a musical instrument. It suggests and indicates the perfect pitch which a musical instrument needs to be tuned to, so that multiple instruments can be played by different musicians, and be attuned to each other. So that an orchestration is possible. Even a simple band can be arranged. Otherwise individuals will be out of tune with each other, and produce discord and dissonance. Rather than accord and harmony. What we call music. A pleasing, satisfying, and rewarding experience. Which we call melodies and music. And songs. And which speak directly to our spirit and soul. And animate us. And fill us with pleasure. With satisfaction. With joy. And move us to positive emotions. Without any cost imposed on anyone. True harmony of parts. Synergy. The optimal interaction of individuals to form, voluntarily, and to the benefit of each part, greater wholes. So my optimal ethics generator would more logically descriptively be known as a tuning device. Similar to a tuning fork. A guitar tuner. Or an app you can download and install on your smartphone. This is what I am asking you to do now. To download and install this app. To make this app go viral. The app is Game. An intellectual and emotional exercise. Exercising the most seldom used muscles. Those of self-honesty and objectivity. You must be eternally vigilant at all times against the intrusion of any opportunistic self-deception. To play this game you will need to enter into the experience of every sentient being you interact with. Or which could conceivably be negatively impacted by any decision you make. Any acts or omissions on your part. You must fully enter into the premise. Construct from it a virtual reality. Then interact with the beings in that virtual reality, as if it were fully real. You need to suspend disbelief, as you would when reading a novel, watching a movie, or playing a video game. You need to project yourself into this virtual reality. And play the game by the rules implicit in the premise. Not to do this, and to seek to opportunistically dechive yourself, defeats the purpose of this game. And prevents you accessing the very real power it can grant you. The power to ascend to higher worlds. Freedom and liberation from this prison plane et. This vale of tears. From the basic premise, and the Trunitnor guides, and novels, it is possible to construct an actual virtual reality gaming platform to play this game in real time. Using an actual gaming app. Software. A computer game. If you are a programmer, please contact me, so we can realize this sooner rather than later. Download the entire Trunitnor library, at no cost to you, from the Trunitnor Patreon page, or using links in the Trunitnor WordPress pages, and TrunitnorBitchute.com site, Saving Us, and the Jews, from the Cult of Judah, and from the Marduk Tir Facebook page. This is the premise. Assume you know it as a certain fact that you are destined to be randomly new incarnated, as any sentient being on this plane et, each time you die. So that, over infinite next lives you would come to be new incarnated as every sentient being on this plane et. As every sort of human. As every sort of animal. So that you are likely to experience the lives of all the sentient beings you interact with, in this life, over your future next lives. With this assumption, this premise, as your motivation, describe what sort of changes you would work for, in the ways humans interact with all other sentient beings. In how humans treated each other. And in how humans treated other animals. In the way relationships between humans and other animals were regulated. Managed. Defined. In how humans treated each other, and animals. What laws and regulations would you impose upon humans? What mechanisms and institutions would you build to enforce these laws? you will need to fully enter into the experience of all the sentient beings you engage with in this life, human and non-human, to consider how your actions and omissions impact upon them, in terms of the costs, burdens, pain, and limits to freedom that they will suffer, as a result of your acts and omissions. Few people will probably be willing and able to play this game to the level required to attain liberation, to ascend. But with the training offered in the form of the Trunitnor canon of novels, guides, and reference books, any player who seriously applies themselves, will attain liberation and ascend. This is guaranteed. The Trunitnor library offers the tools and hacks required to successfully play this game, to reach the highest levels, at which point they will have tuned their tone to perfect pitch. At first most people will be resonating at frequencies so far off perfect pitch that the information and tools offered in the Trunitnor library will not resonate with them. Just like a slack or overtight guitar string will not resonate when the tuning fork is struck, and will produce chaotic readings on the guitar tuner. So they will not be able to benefit from the tuner. The trick is to totally slacken and detune the string, so we start from a flat position. And so the direction we need to move in is clear and definite. Like in orienteering, we will deliberately orient ourselves left or right of the target destination. In philosophy, in our game, the analogy of this is to start from the assumption that we know nothing, to abandon all claims to know anything, so that we begin from a blank slate, on which no assumptions have yet been written. This allows us to step outside of the social reality bubble we were born into, and which has distorted and conditioned and colored all our perceptions and impressions, and the full spectrum propaganda which has misdirected us from truth, left us accepting hearsay as evidence, prevented us from recognizing how many assumptions have been made for us, and forced upon us, which not only problematic, but are often deliberate lies, designed to trick us, manipulate us, and ultimately control and thus enslave us. We can then, operating at the lowest level of abstraction, begin building up a picture of what we can, through the impressions of our senses, and the operation of critical reason, employing the principles of compelling arguments, objective reality. As we assemble new impressions and discover patterns in them, we can develop new understandings of the realities of our natures and the natures of our realities. We can then retune our awareness, our consciousness. And as we do, more and more of truth and reality will resonate with us. And soon we will begin recalibrating our emotional and psychic tone closer and closer towards perfect pitch. It will become easier to hear the perfect pitch, and retune our consciousness to it. Our psyche, our soul, our spirit, our true nature. Ultimately the perfect pitch will resonate with us. And then we can begin the final calibrations, the fine-tuning. Just as when a guitar string comes close to perfect pitch we hear a beat frequency, and the indicator of the tuner shows that we are so many cents off perfect pitch, at which point we can complete the fine-tuning, and the beats disappear, and we find that we have finally obtained perfect pitch, and have realized the synthesis in which we once more regain our perfect nature, our full power. We will have completed the dialectic of antithesis, thesis, synthesis. We will have become ascended beings, liberated from this world, free to join other ascended beings on higher plane ETS. Happy next lives. Marcus Heinrich Rebeck, Sovereign Ecclesia of the Free Church, the Vegan Church.